consistently attract soulmate clients, begin showing up on brand, monetizing on your calling. Welcome all spiritual coaches, leaders, healers, light workers, and practitioners to a show that turns you on in your business and amplifies your magnetism. I'm host, catalyst, and spiritual business coach Rosalind Fung, and I'm here to journey with you into the juicy and help you discover where the real gaps are. Ignite your mindset and soul with strategies and systems as each episode takes you to the sweet spot that activates your soulgasmic business. Enjoy this light language activation as we begin to magnetize and monetize.
Hello, loves. Welcome. I am so excited for you to be here with me on this episode today, where we are going to really dive into creating more wealth, abundance, and prosperity in both your life and business. So get ready for moneygasms. I've even got my The Universe is my sugar daddy shirt on. Hello, Josie and Charlotte.
Hello.
My incredible guest here. Now, I just want to remind you that if you're tuning in and you're loving this episode, you're loving the vibes, which I can't see why you wouldn't, please give us a shout out. On Instagram, it's Bold Sexy Warrior. On Facebook, it's Rosalind Fung, or my business page, Rosalind Fung Coaching, Bold Sexy Warrior. Share with us your takeaways. If you're watching live, please chat with us in the chat box. We'd love to hear from you. So let me share my special guests here today. They are the Money Mavens, and this is Josie and Charlotte. They love jamming about all things business, money manifesting, mindset, spirituality, and confidence when it comes to creating more wealth, abundance, and prosperity in your life and business. The Money Mavens are made up of Charlotte and Josie. Charlotte Balbier is a multi-seven-figure brand builder, and Josie May is a global six-figure business coach. Their mission is to support more women to unapologetically make more money doing what they love. Yes! Podcast, which I totally love binging on, and run group coaching programs with a focus on all things business, money manifesting, mindset, spirituality, and confidence to support their clients create more wealth, abundance, and prosperity. And so as soon as I found them on Instagram, I was like, we love jamming about the same things. I need to connect more with these ladies, and I want to learn from them. I feel like there's some beautiful synergy here. So welcome, loves.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. You're in the UK.
Yes. North England.
So amazing. I would love to hear from each of you how you got to be who you are today. I know that's a big question. And to do what you do, please share with us. And we'll start with Josie.
Yeah, so I had a career for a long time as a social worker. So I worked in child protection, and I kind of grew up in a family that was all about go to university and get a good job that you can then, continue in for the rest of your life, basically. And so I did social work because social work is a career that you could kind of do. I cared about people, but it was really stressful. I was very ambitious. I worked my way up into a senior leadership position, but it was really stressful and really long hours and very thankless. And I'd always been into self-development and law of attraction and living a better life. And I just felt like all my work hours were sucking that out of me. And my husband and I got married coming up to 6 years ago now, and we started to try for a baby. And I just kept having miscarriages. I kept falling pregnant and then miscarrying. And this happened 4 times in a row, just back to back to back. And we went to get tests, and the doctor said, there's no reason why you can't have a baby. There's no reason. And my husband said, could it be stress related? And she said, never underestimate the impact of stress on your body. And at that point, I'd been training as a coach because I'd really wanted to have my own business. But I was scared, scared to take the leap, scared to let go of a wage that came every month on the same day. But my husband kind of almost gave me permission, ridiculously, said, leave your job. So I was like, really? Can I?
That's
yeah. So that was my journey into coaching, really. Well, it wasn't my journey into coaching, but it was my journey into full-time business. Because whilst he said, leave your job, we also had bills to pay. I also was a contributor to our household income. And so I knew I needed to make money. And so it was a very fast way to learn business, really, because I had to start making money. And I realized that I'd have to start loving sales, which when I started as a coach, I was like, I'll coach people. I will share my heart. I'll help people have a better life. It's going to be amazing. And in my head, I never thought I've actually got to sell this. And I've been a social worker, and we didn't sell for money. We sold ways to care for your children, but we didn't sell packages or things like that. And so I quickly had to learn to sell. And it's funny because my business quote is doing business with soul. And I love that you talk about soulful selling, because that's a big thing for me. And so, yeah, I originally started out as a love coach. Quickly, within a couple of years, found that a lot of entrepreneurs were coming to me and I was helping them with their business. So I transitioned more to business at that point. And love and money, very connected, I think. And so I don't do love coaching very much anymore. I do a little bit of it, but not very much. But there's not much difference, believe it or not, when it comes to love or money. So yeah, that's my story.
Josie, we have paralleling stories because I too come from a clinical background as a registered psychologist. And
yes.
then and my master's is in marriage and family. And I became the first psychologist to create and sell an online program in my province because I knew I was specializing in human body image and self-love at the time. And I wanted to get the message out there because, of course, I struggled with it and then got certified in eating psychology and wanted to put it out there in the world where it was this bit more power to disordered eating, where you don't quite meet the clinical diagnosis of an eating disorder. And most women fall in the disordered eating category. And I wanted to put a voice to it. So I'm like, there's got to be a way, and even though the college, my regular profession was like, no, don't do it. It's your reputation. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to find a way. And so I figured it out. But I totally get it because with the whole selling piece, I was like, I can't hide behind the benefits anymore. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. I'm covered. No problem.
Yeah.
I can't hide behind it I started out as a love coach. And so just how powerful, and same thing. I started attracting entrepreneurs who are like, can you help me get on my way and show up and create the business as well? I'm like, yeah. So have a similar journey. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. And Charlotte, please share with us your story.
So my background is originally in fashion and design, marketing. And then in 2003, I spotted a massive gap in the market for a very fashion-led bridal brand. So I specialised in the bridal sector, so wedding dresses. So by trade, I'm a wedding dress designer. And I founded and built a brand called Charlotte Balbier, which is my name. And I sold it 5 years on April the 1st. And I grew it from being nothing to being a 7-figure brand. And then within the portfolio of the company, we had several brands. So with those, we became multi-7-figure with a very high profit. So my USP, my passion is I actually love selling. So I'm like the opposite. I love selling. I would do that all day, every day. And I'm very much about bringing the profit into your pretty, because I love pretty brands, I love creating brands. But when you're very creative and you create something very beautiful, a lot of the time you forget about making money. So I've always been about being really, really profitable. So the clients that I support one-to-one are usually extremely creative and multi-passionate and amazing, but not very good with the money side. So I'm really, really good at that as well. So that's part of the reason why we're the Money Mavens as well, because both Josie and I united on this like love of money and prosperity and money mindset. I've always had a really good money mindset. And then when I sold my business and my brand, I had a little boy and I decided to kind of take a bit of an early kind of retirement, so to speak. But my circumstances changed. I got a bit bored, and people were reaching out to me asking them to coach them, but I didn't really know what I was coaching. I was like, so you're asking me for advice and you're giving me money, and I was like, oh, this is coaching. Like, I didn't really know what it was. And then I went and got qualified. I did some mindset work, and it just happened. I became a full-time coach.
Amazing. And so, how did this magical co-creation happen?
Do you want to start?
So Charlotte and I were both in a mastermind, a business mastermind that we joined with another coach. And this was in June 2020, so less than 2 years ago.
Yes.
And in the mastermind, the coach was like, let everyone know where you live. And so Charlotte and I basically realized that we live a mile away from each other. And so we were like, wow, we live in walking distance. Let's meet for a coffee. And so the next day we met for a coffee, and we just got on really well. We clicked straight away. And it's funny because Charlotte can say what she thought when we first met.
So when we first met each other for the coffee, I had this really strong connection to Josie. I don't get it very often. And I had a real strong connection. So I said to Josie at the end of the coffee, this is going to sound really weird and you're going to think I'm a bit strange, but I think you and I are going to start a business together. I think something's going to happen. And Josie was like, oh, because now I know Josie, she kind of like took it in a stride, but some people would have run the other way and thought, this girl's crazy. I'm never going to see her again. She's clearly nuts. But I just knew. I absolutely knew as soon as I was talking to Josie. I didn't know we were going to be the Money Mavens. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. But I had a lot of resistance to taking my business online and doing kind of online stuff. And with Josie's amazing experience and how good she is in the online world, and then how I got the other side with, I do a lot of in person, I'm the creative, and I was just like, this is going to work. Something's going to happen. I'm not sure what it is. So yeah, I put it out there. I literally was very eager on the first date.
Wow, I love that. Those are often conversations when I first meet somebody too, and you feel the tingles. I'm sure you both had a past life together, by the way.
Yeah, I can imagine.
How powerful that is when you feel the tingles and you just know the resonance, and you share that, and how beautiful. Congratulations. I was listening to that episode of your podcast episode where you were celebrating the Money Mavens and how you had come and created that business during COVID. So
yeah.
And it was what happened. The reason we did a course together was we were co-working. Before I had this office, I was in a co-working space, and Josie came in, and I both thought energy was a little bit low. And I said, it's because we've not made any money this week. Like, we love making money. So we were like, we should do a course together. And within a few hours, we'd written the outline of the course and marketed it and sold 10 places.
Wow.
And we were like,
that's guided.
So we were just like, okay, well, we put it out there. We're going to have to, we didn't really know what it was going to be or how we were going to do it. And we did it. And the results were amazing. So much so that everyone on the course asked for another course. So we brought out another one to roll into the next one. So yeah,
we kind of before we became the Money Mavens, we did some joint courses together, and it kind of just fell into place. We didn't really plan anything. No. Like Charlotte said, we'd be co-working and be like, oh, what can we do? And we'd come up with something, and then we'd sell it out, and then And then we had clients that were saying, we want some more, we want some more. We were like, okay, well, let's make some more then. And so it was kind of just like a flow. It was so easy. And we felt like we wanted to do a podcast. We were like, okay, we both wanted to do individual podcasts. But neither of us had done it. It takes some motivation to do it on your own, Rosalind. So well done. But neither of us had actually taken the action to do it on our own. So, but we were like, let's do this. And what are we going to do it on? What's important to us? And what we both realized was that money was so important, in that so many women are triggered and held back and under earning and undervaluing themselves. And it's like, enough's enough. Enough is enough. And we, like, the reason we say we want women to unapologetically desire to earn more, than to be unapologetically wealthy, because what we know for sure is, if the wealth of the world was held by heart-based female entrepreneurs, I can't even imagine what kind of world we'd live in, but it would be beautiful. Beautiful.
Josie, that's what I say a lot. Yes. Amen. Amen. Sister speaks for me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. So powerful. I love hearing the story of how you both met and your backgrounds and journeys to be here. And so I'm really curious, with Money Mavens, who is it that you love to call in and work with? What are the struggles? Because as our audience is listening live and on replays, I want them to really tune into knowing they're not alone, that these are common challenges that your clients face. So please help us understand that.
Yeah, so we work with female entrepreneurs at every level of business. We work with women starting right out all the way through to, we work with 7-figure earners. But the common thread is that they all desire to step more into the power. They all desire to be more confident. They all desire to achieve more. And I think there's this misconception, I know I certainly had it, that when you reach a certain level in your business, for me originally it was those 10K months. You know, when I started as a coach, it was like the gold star of coaching, 10K months.
Right.
And like, everyone talked about it, everyone sold it in their packages. And it was like, when I reach that, my life is going to change. I'm going to be so confident. I'm going to be rich. And like all these things that you imagine are going to happen. And then when I did reach 10K a month, and I still lacked confidence sometimes, and I still didn't feel good enough, and I still had imposter syndrome, and I still wanted more. My bills went up, my cost of living went up. I didn't feel rich. I obviously felt more wealthy, but I didn't feel rich. And Charlotte, I know, can talk from being a 7-figure business owner. I know that you've kind of said to me, haven't you, Charlotte, that you felt similar ways.
Yes.
Totally. And one thing that we were really passionate about doing was, we both really enjoy strategy as well as mindset and spirituality. Yes. Like, we love all the aspects. So we were like, let's do something. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. We can do it all, because I definitely love the strategy side. And so I was like, okay, Josie, if you lead more on the spiritual and the energy side, and then I can kind of swoop in with the marketing and the fact that I've built brands and that I love selling. Because if we get their mindset right, we get their confidence right, when I deliver the strategy, they're ready to go and action it. Whereas if you do those without each other, it doesn't work as powerfully. So it's really nice because we complement each other, and our clients come to us because they always say we're the same but different, and they love the fact that we really complement each other, and what they get from me and what they get from Josie is two different things. And we both call people in from our own network. This is in clients that we've had before, clients that have followed us, and then they love both Josie and I, but for different reasons. So it's just such a really lovely balance that we give our clients, which you don't have when you work on your own. And I know that I've really enjoyed being able to give my our clients more. They're getting like 2 for 1 almost.
Yeah.
You know, it's like two fonts of knowledge, we've got their back. And yeah, it's really powerful. In the all the sessions that we deliver with our clients are live, So they get an opportunity to ask questions and they get both our perspectives on it. So yeah, it's really good.
I love that. It is so important. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're my UK sisters, because I feel the same way. For me, it is really important around the mindset, the belief shifting, the confidence. I bring in the Akasha, so the records of our soul. And then I also bring in the strategies. But you probably also notice this too. People can work the strategies, but if their mindset, their energy is not aligned with their high self, it doesn't matter what strategies you implement. It's really
Totally.
about energy first, right?
Totally energy first. And the thing is, all strategies work. Like, all strategies work if your mindset, your beliefs, your confidence, your energy is in the right place. Whatever you follow, whatever your intuition tells you, whatever strategy you pick up, it's going to work for you. You need one. Strategy is really important, but much more important than that is the energy behind it, the confidence. And having a good strategy can help with that confidence and can help with that mindset. And so they all mold in together. And so we say it's like a triangle: spirituality, mindset, and strategy.
Love it.
Yeah, kind of the vibe that we have, and the clients that are open to a bit of woo-woo. And I have always been spiritual in my business. I've always spoke about the law of attraction. As you can see, I've got like "Thank you, universe, more please" on my wall behind me, which made me laugh because Rosalind's got "The universe is my sugar daddy," and then I've got "Thank you." My head's there. "Thank you, universe, more please."
Love it.
So I'm imagining this sugar daddy now handing out, and I'm like, "More please, more please." But yeah, I think some of Charlotte's people that came from her world had maybe been less spiritual.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
totally.
And so when we did our first course, it was a lot about spirituality and mindset. And some of them at first were a bit like, this is a bit like, okay, this doesn't make sense. But by the end of it, I think we'd really
they converted
them too.
And I think a lot of my one-to-one clients who knew me before were like, what's going on with Charlotte? Like, because I was always been so, this is how you do it, strategy or brand activation or creating brands. And then suddenly I'm being really woo-woo and talking about spirituality. And I was always like that. I just didn't bring it to, because it didn't need to in the role that I had in the other business.
Right.
She was in the closet. She was in the closet, spirituality closet.
Happens a lot. Yes.
I was totally spiritual closet. Because it just never really, I mean, I sometimes think, I wonder if I had brought it in, would the business have been more successful? Would it have been different? Like, I'll never know. So it was really
it's all about divine timing.
Yeah.
Led with strategy, led with the brand. What I'm hearing is the beautiful masculine aspects. We need both masculine and divine feminine, right? And that's what I really feel for both of you. You're each now very like open about the spirituality, and you balance each other out so well, like this beautiful marriage, right? With the masculine and the feminine, how powerful that is.
And it's funny because we flip between the two. So Charlotte's obviously creative; she's a designer, and I'm very much about a plan in terms of like, I can create plans. I'm very good on web pages. I'm very good on technical things. And Charlotte's a creative, so she's very much in her feminine there, and I'm more in the masculine. But then when it comes to doing our podcasts or live trainings, Charlotte, I call her clipboard Charlotte because she'll write all these notes, whereas I'll just go with the flow and I'll just like wing it. And so I think then I'm very much in my feminine and Charlotte's more in a masculine then. So I think we flip between the two individually, but complement each other on both.
No, definitely. And I like it when Josie tells me what to do, which is really unusual because in the roles I've had before, I've always been the boss. Whereas I don't know if it's because Josie's got more experience with the online side of things. So I'm quite happy for her to like boss me around. But when it comes to the sales part, I take over and
she's the boss when it comes to sales.
I want to do all the sales. I'm like, no one else can sell this. I have to do all of it. So yeah, it's funny. We do switch from the masculine to the feminine energies all the time.
That is so inspiring. As I'm tuning into the audience, there's a lot of that energy of sister wounds where women can be in this space of feeling jealous, competitive. And I actually recently, I believe it was last week, created a post around that, and just how that's such lack energy. And when we move into this higher frequency of, and it's all about loving ourselves, all about embracing our self worth, standing in our power, and really being in our full on brilliance, we're not triggered by someone else's success because everything is neutral. We put meaning to it. And how we do that is based on our belief system. So I feel like that trigger is a gift for us to lean in and look at that as our own medicine. And it's so inspiring to see the both of you come together and co-create and be so fluid in your who you are, and to just really. And do you feel this? Does it always flow, or does it sometimes feel like? And then you're able to return, like, I want to know the juicy behind it.
Do you know, we've always, funnily enough, we've not had any heads butted. We've not fallen out at all. We've always kind of molded in, and it's funny, like we've not consciously thought, oh, okay, in this area I'll lead, and in this area we've just naturally, one of us have led in one area and then one of us have led, and neither of us have tried to, I think what the difference is, neither of us have tried to be the boss all the time.
No.
Like we've both kind of come in at a level heading, and some things I'll lead on and some things Charlotte will lead on, and it's kind of naturally been that way. And I think if we'd both wanted to go in and be like, okay, in this partnership, I'm the boss, I'm the lead singer or whatever, it wouldn't have worked. And I until you asked the question, I hadn't even contemplated it before. But I don't know, what do you think, Charlotte?
Yeah, and I think what Josie and I have is we both know what each other's thinking. So if we're on a live, like say we're leading a training with our clients, I can pick up if Josie needs me to lead a bit more, or she needs, even if we've not discussed, conversations can go off and people ask questions and we just know, and it's like an unsaid rule thing that we've got between us, and we've never ever sat down and said, this is what you're doing, or that's what we just both know what our strengths are and what our weaknesses are. So we just lead on that, and then where the other one needs support, we just kind of have their back. So and I think we're not, we talk about this a lot on our podcast about how we've never been in competition with each other because we're just so comfortable with who we are. And also we've always put our friendship first.
Yes. Beautiful.
Over everything else, because we are friends first, and then this has happened from it, and we've built the Money Mavens on our community, and what we encourage everybody to be friends in our community and support each other. We just never would.
It can be so lonely, and a lot of our followers, a lot of people who listen to us or take part in our courses are solopreneurs or have small teams. And it can be so lonely working for yourself. I've been in business now for 4.5 years, and majority of that time I was on my own. And so it's so refreshing to suddenly work with someone else and know that they've got your back. Like I remember when we were doing one of our courses, More Sales, More Money. And I was having an off day. I didn't feel well. My head, when it feels full, but we had a call and I was like, Charlotte, I do not feel well. She was like, don't worry, babe, I'll lead. And it was just like, I was still there, I still showed up, but I knew that I didn't have to be switched on as much as normal because she was switched on, she was ready. And I think just feeling that in your business feels so good when you've been so used to having so many hats and doing everything, to have someone that is able to kind of take the strings or support you or can see that you need a little bit of support, and vice versa. There's been times when Charlotte's not felt great and we've done it, and it feels like a relief almost when it feels like you've had the weight of your business on your shoulders. Because it can feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, totally. And also one thing that I really missed was just having fun. because I'd gone from having a team of 20 every day. So I'd go into my office and it was all like, we all had loads of fun. We all knew each other really well. I was like, I really mothered my team. I loved them. And they've been with me for a very, very long time. And suddenly I was like, there's just me and a virtual VA that you don't meet.
Yeah.
So when Josie came along, we started doing things together. We started having so much fun and laughing. And that's what it should be about, having fun as well.
1,000%. I always say if you're not having fun, then I'm not in. And it's like part of my last name, so it has to be.
Oh yeah, fun.
That's right. When we come back, we're going to move into commercial. When we come back, I'd love to continue picking your brains about each of your greatest lessons, particularly with money and mindset and selling, because I know the audience really is going to receive so much wisdom from each of you. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Times TV. Imagine becoming a super influencer. Reinvent yourself, invest in your brand, and then manifest your success with a robust spheric approach. Times Media and Broadcasting offers a unique and multifaceted way to become the spiritual and conscious influencer you deserve to be by putting your message across our powerful platform with its proven record of integrity and excellence. Through our produced shows, Times offers the opportunity to become a social media TV personality, a radio show host, an Times magazine columnist, and a syndicated podcaster, all in one shot. By live streaming your show on Times TV and broadcasting it across the extensive Times radio and TV networks, you become more than a host. You become an ambassador and a force for positive change. Times. Open yourself to the possibilities.
Are you feeling maxed out working one-on-one with clients and you're deeply desiring to scale your business for more time freedom without sacrificing your income, but rather expanding it? Many of my clients who are light workers, healers, practitioners, and even coaches, they're often multi-modality, are coming to me because they are sick and tired of working with clients on a one-off session model where the clients are coming in on an as-need basis. Or if they're selling packages, they are selling them in the sense of buy 5, get 1 free, or the greater the number of sessions, the greater the discount. The problem with this is it's still a dollar for hours business model. And so that leaves the practitioner feeling really exhausted and overwhelmed from having to put so much time, effort, and energy in finding new clients that they're not operating in their most elevated self with their current clients. And so if this is you, I would love to share with you that it's time to elevate your business and scale it to sell high ticket one-on-one programs or even group programs. This will allow you to have more deeper impacts because you're raising your clients' results, you're scaling your business, and you're having that time freedom you deeply are yearning for. If this is resonating with you, love, I'd love to invite you to come on a soul business alignment call with me so that you can stop feeling like you're on this roller coaster ride and start to feel safe and stable and even having fun in your business and your finances. Please go to electrifymybusiness.com to apply and we'll hop on a call. I can't wait to connect.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile
Hello, welcome back, loves. Okay, we're going to go a little bit deeper. And I'm going to ask each of you, what would you like to share with the audience in terms of what you wish you knew when you first were starting out in your business, or what the biggest breakthrough was when it came to money mindsets, even sales mindset? Because I feel like, yes, they're connected, but they're also very different.
Do you want me to go
Like
first? All right, yeah.
So I think the biggest lesson I've learned since I've transitioned out of what I did before is done is better than perfect. So I call myself a recovering perfectionist because, and I think because I think I use this as an excuse for it, because I made wedding dresses. Obviously, when you're making something like that, there is no room for error. But then I took it to a level that I didn't need to. But now, with my understanding of mindset, I realised that a lot of the time it was me protecting myself. So I'd use it as like a little bit of procrastination sometimes, because I want everything to be so perfect. And I never want anyone to ever like call me out on anything, or, you know, but I realise now that people didn't buy into the brand because of all those things I was obsessed about. So I just made myself exhausted a lot of the time when I didn't really need to. And then I started doing it when I was doing this business, and I was like just constantly procrastinating because I wanted everything to be perfect. And then I was like, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be done, and I just need to get it out there, and then I'll figure it out. And since I've done that, I am like so much happier. So much happier. I'm like not being as hard on myself. So that, from that point of view, is something that I've definitely learned over the last 4 years, and I'm really glad that I've learned it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I know that so many people need to hear that. I'm a recovered perfectionist myself, so I 1,000%.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you, love. And I'm really curious. I did not know that you personally made the wedding dresses. I'm going up on camera. Is that still a business?
Yeah, not in the end. We had 350 stockists, so it would have been possible for me. So we had a massive team. So 20 team in house, and then we had 3 factories.
Wow.
So yeah, so I didn't make, but my eye was always perfect. So if we put on a show, it had to be the best show. If, you know, everything I did, the next time had to better it. But then what I was doing was, I was just constantly raising the bar. When my clients, although a lot of my clients used to say, your shows are the best and it's so exciting, but you know, when you keep doing that, it's like, where'd you go with it? Where'd you stop? So I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself.
Thank you so much for sharing. And how about for you, Josie? What would you say your biggest lesson has been on this journey?
So my biggest lesson is kind of twofold. It's persistence and trust. And so I think for me, and I know for a lot of female entrepreneurs that I work with, we want the results straight away. Of course we do. We all want this like successful business that starts straight away. But the truth is, even the most successful of entrepreneurs, of business owners, have a journey that they go on. They had to overcome obstacles. They had to fail at some points in order to succeed at others. And, you know, business is like a roller coaster. And for too long, I was just searching for the highs. And you don't enjoy it the same way if you're always just looking at the highs. And so what I've learned to do is like take a step back. This is a roller coaster, and enjoy the whole ride. Sometimes it's going to dip, but everything that goes down must come back up. And it's what makes you stronger when you are persistent. It's what makes you stronger when you do continue. And early on in my journey, I read a book, Think and Grow Rich, and chapter 9 is called Persistence. And there's a story in there called 3 Feet from Gold. And it's a true story about somebody in the gold rush. You know the story that They were digging and digging and digging and eventually gave up, but they were just 3 feet from gold. And I think so often in business, I think it's like 75 or 80% of businesses fold because people stop. But it's not about being the best. It's about being the most persistent. It's about the person who can keep going even when it's tricky. Because if you keep going, you will succeed. You will succeed if you keep going. And so the first bit is persistence, and the second part is trust. And what I've learned is to trust that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be and that everything is working out perfectly, even when it feels the exact opposite. And so I put my hand on my heart, I take a deep breath, and I just remind myself everything is working out perfectly. I am exactly where I'm meant to be. And when you really believe that, when you trust that this is the path to my success, this is the path to my next step, and maybe it's gone out of the way that I didn't expect, it's just coming back to trust that I'm still on my path, I'm still on my way, all's good. Because we can catastrophize so much, can't we? Like, And I think it's natural as humans to look for fear, look for threats.
Absolutely.
So trust and persistence are the two that I have to remind myself of every day. And, sometimes I'm in the flow of it and it feels good and it feels easy. And sometimes it feels damn hard. But if I come back to those two things, I know everything's going to be okay.
Thank you for sharing that as well. I feel like that definitely I could jam a little bit more on that. I can definitely say often I'll say the business is like a game of endurance, right? It's like we've got to stay consistent, consistency over intensity.
Yeah.
And the other piece around persistence is like with the whole up and down piece. It makes me think about my own practice with the law of neutrality. So, for example, I've had really big launches where, as you are having the clients sign up and the money rolling in, what happens is, of course, that's exciting, right? You start to have like these orgasms, like, yes, right? And what happens is, if we're so excited about that, the danger of that is the opposite can happen, right? That if the clients aren't coming in, all of a sudden we make meaning about that personally, can get really down in the dumps and be taken out energetically, emotionally.
Yeah.
And so for me, one of my greatest lessons has been really being in this place of the practice of neutrality, even when things are going well. Let's hold space for that capacity. Let's hold space for possibilities. And I love what you shared, Josie, like trusting that we're exactly where we need to be, because there's lessons there too when things aren't going our way. I'm like, all right, am I being too attached? What's happening here? So
Yeah,
thank
I
you
love
for
it.
sharing that. And I also want to point out to the audience that each of your answers has nothing to do with money. It's all about mindset and energy and freedom.
Because money is just energy, isn't it? Money is just energy. And so if you're open to it, if you're feeling secure and safe, then it'll come into you. It's when you are in fear, you're pushing it away. When you are like worrying that things are going wrong, or all our actions out of fear or love. Everything we do we're either doing it out of fear or we're doing it out of love. And if it's out of fear, it's out of alignment. And so that's also going to be blocking money coming in as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And thankfully, we do have an audience member saying that it's a little bit echoey. Our apologies. We still hope that the message is coming through. This is my first time having two guests on, so we're just going to roll with it. Perfectly imperfect.
Perfectly imperfect.
I'd love to hear what the Money Mavens is most excited about in terms of what you both are putting out there with your programs. What's it new, exciting? How can people get connected with you?
So our big thing, our biggest way to kind of be in touch with us is through our podcast. We release a new episode every week.
So good.
Yeah, thank you. But we have something really exciting that we haven't actually announced to people yet. But we have put together a 4-week training program all about manifesting more money into your business, and it's completely free. It's completely free. We haven't even actually put it out there yet. So if anyone does want access to it, it's ready to go. We just haven't pushed the button yet.
Yeah.
We haven't launched it. And so if anyone does want it, they can contact us on the Money Mavens Instagram. It's the _money_mavens. And just reach out, send us a little message, and we'll hook you up with that. Because it was one of those inspired things. Charlotte and I were like, we want to do something that just anyone can access. Something that's always going to be available, that people can self-study, and something that, for now at least, we're going to put out there for free. It might become something that we make a paid product in the future, but for now we just wanted to get out the message. And so we literally recorded it all in a day, and it's so good.
It's such good content. It's amazing. And we watched it back and I was like, wow, we're really good. It's really, really, really good. Yeah. But we ran 3 programs last year, and what we're going to do is we're going to speak to all the clients that have been through it and figure out what they all love, because we both loved all 3 of the programs, but they were very different. So we're going to put together a new program this year, which probably will bring out the best. Because last year it was like the first time we'd done it, we didn't know what was going to happen. So we're going to really look at that. We're actually going. We're taking ourselves on a little work retreat, the 2 of us, to go and be away from home, away from children, away from distractions, so we can just purely concentrate on the Money Mavens for a couple of days, and then figure out what we're going to put together. But whatever our new program will be, will always be around our clients making more money. So there'll always be strategy in there with, I love where you can take something and action it and get immediate results. That lights us up. But then we're also going to put in the mindset, but also the manifesting piece as well. So we've got an idea, but we're just kind of, feeling around with what we're going to do with it. But it's going to be juicy.
I love it. And actually, it will be in the show notes. So those of you who are watching this on YouTube, it'll be there, as well as on Apple iTunes, Old Times Radio. It's there right now. So you guys can go and grab that. You see a freebie that these beautiful ladies have created.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So am I going to be in with a meditation then, Rosalind?
Yes. So we have about 9 minutes. So
okay.
in the 2 minutes, we usually do a meditation. If my guests lead meditations, I do absolutely invite them to drop us in. And then just invite me, cue me, and say, all right, Roz, time for the light language coming in. And if it feels right, even just light language while you're doing the meditation, I'll just use it.
Okay, feel into beautiful. It. Okay.
So
I'll mute myself.
Okay, amazing.
Thanks, Charlotte.
So let's just take a big deep breath and sigh it out. And just let your body relax. So if you sat down, just let your back relax and your shoulders relax. And if you want to lie down, lie down. And if you're standing, that's cool. Whatever works for you, just get as comfortable as you can and let your body melt. Feel the top of your head melting and your eyes relaxing and your jaw and your mouth. And if your tongue's touching the roof of your mouth, let it drop. Any tension releasing from your jaw. And your shoulders melting. And your upper back melting. And just let it all relax. And your rib cage. And your torso. Just let it soften and relax. And let your buttocks soften and your thighs. Let them melt into the chair or the bed or the floor. Just feel those muscles around your knees and your calves Just relax. And the tops of your feet, let them soften, and the bottoms of your feet, just relax. And so I want you to think about your energy. And I want you to raise your energy up right up into the sky. So imagine your energy is raising up about 100 feet. And as you move up and move up and move up, as if you're going up into space, I want you to feel, see, or sense the light. So you should, as you're moving up, feel, see, or sense the light. If you're not feeling it, just keep going higher until you do. And when you can feel that gorgeous golden light, it might be liquid light or bright light or just a feeling of like a gassy light or just an awareness. Just latch onto that. And I want you to open up the crown of your head and let that light in. And just feel it oozing into the top of your head. And it might be liquid or it might be gas or it might just be air or water. Whatever it is for you, that is perfect. And it might be golden and it might be white. It might be colourful. It's okay. Just let that light in and let it swirl around the top of your head, swirl around your third eye, opening up your ability to see the truth. And let it swirl around your eyes. And you have the ability to see what you need to see. And let it swirl down past your throat, opening up your throat chakra, allowing you to speak your truth. Let it swirl down past your heart, opening you up to love. Down past your gut, so that you're aware of that gut instinct and you can feel what it is that your next steps are. And let it swirl down your arms and your legs and into your feet. And then I want you to imagine this light going through your feet into the earth, down, 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 until it reaches the core of the earth. And right there, you can feel a real warm, mothering energy. And I want you to imagine that the light bounces right back up, 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 through the earth, through your feet, up through your legs, up your thighs, and up into your heart. And then I want this light to expand out around you, like a big sphere. So right now, you're connected to all that is. So let's expand that light out so that it's bigger than the room you're in. Feel that energy. Now expand that light out so that it's bigger than the town that you're in. Expand it out so it's bigger than the state that you're in. And bigger still so it's bigger than the country you're in. And then out, out, out even further so it's bigger than the earth. And out, out, out into the universe. And notice that you can keep expanding this light and there's no stopping it. You can expand it as far as you desire. So right now you are connected to all people and all things. Feel the abundance of that. Send out some love to everyone you're touching, which is everyone. Send out some love to the trees and the animals and the people. And now feel that love springing right back to you. Feel the energy of all that is. You are limitless. You are absolutely limitless and able to call in anything that you desire. And if you're feeling restricted or you're feeling scared, just tap into this energy of oneness, this energy of expansion, this energy of all that is always available to you. And just give out love. Put out requests for what you desire. And just feel it coming back in. And when you're ready, Roz, for some light language.
Orakia, Surakoratia, Nerakia, Surakoratia, Nerakia, Sarukoratia, Nerakia, Rakoratia, Nerakia, Surakia, clearing anything in the way of your soul's path. Morakia, Surkia, Morakia, Surkia, balancing, aligning all of your energy centers all the way up into the cosmos. Morakia, Seragmo, Morakia, Morakia, expanding even more in your light, in your love, in your radiance. Morakia, 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 Seraku, Morakia, breathing in. And then as you breathe out so you're anchoring in your soul's essence into the depths of Mother Earth, into this beautiful crystal heart, planting your soul's seeds for your next level version of you. And so it is, Morakia, Sorokorakia. Breathing in one more time. And then just breathing out loud into the world. And just staying with the sensations, noticing what you notice. There's no right or wrong. Breathing into what feels most good, whatever good means for you. Finding a way to complete your internal process with an image or a word that will support you in accessing this place of power inside. And when you're ready, just very slowly and gently come on out. Thank you very much, ladies. I so enjoyed chatting with people. Thank you for sharing your beautiful wisdom and energy here today.
Thank you for
Thank
having us.
you.
Thank you, audience. Please do share your takeaways. Tag us, _money_mavens, and bold sexy warrior on Instagram. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.